Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra.
We're ladies.
And we tangent.
What's up, everyone? Hello.
How are we doing? Jerry did my hair. Just in case you see me messing with it a lot.
Here's the thing. I have been wanting to have a treat myself moment for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Before I cut my own hair on
it's like
a panic
I did
attack
with my
whim.
extension.
Yes. I wanted a Dyson Airwrap. I wanted it so bad. I've wanted it for years, but it was like nothing I ever thought I could afford.
Yeah.
And now that like I can, I was like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna jump in.
Treat ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't even think like it's like an investment almost.
Well, I feel that way now.
Yeah, because of that time you're gonna save.
Well, not only that, but like it is an incredible tool.
Yeah.
So I feel bad because it is outrageously expensive. But I have been looking my grandpa died, and every year for Christmas we get like Christmas money from my grandpa, but now that he's dead,
you have to give yourself that
my mom gave us money from him for like the next 20 years.
Why is that gonna make me cry right now? Oh my god.
So we just got it all up front since he's not going to be here to give it to us.
No, that makes sense.
So so we got that, and so I've been like waiting for a little moment for me to splurge, and I went to go buy it.
Sorry, in my head I was like, dead grandpa money.
Woohoo!
Yes.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
That's what I'm saying.
I can cry, or I can get a Dyson Airwrap.
That's easy peasy.
They're both gonna hurt me, just in different ways.
Right.
So I've been looking for one, and I couldn't find one anywhere. I ordered one time from some bougie store, and I was like, oh, definitely this is legit. And then they emailed me, they're like, we're not sending you this. This doesn't, I don't even know why we sold it to you in the first place. It doesn't exist. And I'm like, great, thank you so much. So
thanks for telling me at least and not taking my money. That's good.
Bergdorf Goodman.
Well, fuck, that was on you for sure.
I think that's a bougie store.
Oh, sure.
Bergdorf's.
I swear to God, if I ever make it big and I'm like rich as fuck and I open like a Coach or like a friggin' style store like that, I'm gonna call it like Smorgasfoot or something.
The Bergensteins.
Just to fucking throw people off, and then they'll be like, "What are you? Oh, fuck, what was the thing? Schnorgenfoofen or whatever. What are you wearing?
Tickle nuffers." This is the latest tickle nuffer. Do you have one? You have to be invited to get a poop and schnurfer.
Yes, that's what I want.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's April Fool's Day.
Fuck you. That's my April Fool's.
I never finished my Airwrap story. Long story short, I randomly kept this is how I know like me and the universe have like really gotten to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was sending me signals like check Ulta. And so I was like, why? I'm on a list. They're supposed to email me if one goes, and shows up if they get one. And I haven't gotten one. So there's nothing to check, universe. And they're like, I'm fucking telling you.
You need to do this.
Check your Ulta app. And so I checked my Ulta app, and there was one in like an hour away from me, which at this location, Rachel from For Better and Worse podcast, one of my besties, lives very near this place. She lives fucking close. And I'm like, Rachel, can you please go get me this? And she's like, I'm on it. And then I'm literally driving.
Besties.
And Moana's playing. Ollie's with me. I wasn't like alone in the car listening to Moana. But the Moana soundtrack is playing.
I am Moana.
That's the song.
Yes, I knew it was.
Is like the instrumental part of that song, where it's just like really powerful, really like just intense, crescendo.
Yes.
Text message comes in. We did it, Cher. And then she sends me a picture of this box. And I told Sierra this, but I'm telling you guys now. Someone bought 2 on accident.
Yeah.
And then returned one this morning. So the universe was like, hey, heads up. No one's getting an email about this. Someone just randomly returned this. They're not even supposed to have it in the store, but it's there. Check. And I checked and I got it.
Amazing.
I called. If your name is Sean and you work at Ulta and you answer the phone and I asked you to hide it for me until I got there and you said you couldn't do that, guess what? I got it anyway.
What the fuck?
I wish you would have done that for me, Sean, but I have friends, so I got it anyway.
We had a really beautiful moment
did.
in the car. But you.
Yes.
You and Moana.
Me and Moana and my son.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, now I am having the 70s hair of my dreams.
And she did mine and like just
Mhm.
within 5 minutes, just to like throw some little beachy curls in there. And like then it wasn't even wet. You're supposed to do it on damp hair, and it was like completely
Not
dry
sponsored,
hair.
but
Yeah.
fucking
But like it does
if you have
the
dead
job.
grandpa money lying around, you should get it if you can find one.
There
This
you
has turned my accidental mullet into intentional shag.
go. Yes.
I'm feeling much, much better.
Yeah. Shagalicious frumpadunk.
Shagalicious frumpadunk.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
There was something else we were going into.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think too. April Fools.
April Fools.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Did you
did
listen
fucking
to
Hurdle get you today? That's not where I was gonna go, but yes. Do you guys play Hurdle? I don't play Wordle. I think I've already said this just because
Hurdle's the best. I'm not gonna lie to you.
you're fucking
I'm
good at Hurdle.
gifted. I think I've only done two songs where I haven't gotten it within 1 second.
Which
Literally.
is shocking because when I saw you like going another one where it was 1 second, I'm like, this bitch is crazy. I went and did it, and it took me almost the whole time for
Yeah.
like 3 of the songs.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so good. And then the next song after that was Cardi B's Up, and I was like, fucking, but instantly. I didn't even have to brag about that
Yeah.
one because I was like, everybody's gonna know. I got that instantly.
Yeah.
But like, I'm weirdly good at it. I
Yes.
didn't know I was that good at like picking out songs, but it is a funny thing that people make fun of me for. That I will hear a song playing and go, oh my God, I love this song before I even know what the song is. But it's just like the melody catches in my
Yeah.
head and I'm like, you know this, you like this.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what song is it? But like if I
You're
had
like, I
time
don't
to
know.
think, like, because you could play the song and then I have a second to think, I play it one more time and I'm like, got it instantly.
I'm impressed, but it fucking got me today.
Yeah, it was.
We got fucking
Rickrolled.
Rickrolled. But if you play Hurdle, you know. But basically, you click a button to listen to the song. And today, it was like, looks like the song is not available in your country.
Yeah.
This is the answer. We don't want you to lose your streak.
Yep.
And so you click the link, and it
It's like,
Rickrolled
never
you.
gonna give.
Yeah.
But
what
it
I
was funny because I was doing it with my son. So I thought that was fun because
that
I
is
was like,
fun.
do you want to play this game with me? Let's
does
see
he
if
know
we
what
can do
being
it.
Rickrolled is?
Oh, does he?
Oh.
And then his dad Rickrolled him earlier. He was like, hey, get Noah on the phone or whatever. And he's like, Noah, my friend Josh was opening this awesome packet and he got a super rare Charizard card.
Oh.
Here's a YouTube link so you could see him opening it. And Noah was like so excited and he opened it. It was
Rickroll.
Yeah.
Dang.
funny.
I almost just said that we should just change April Fool's Day to Rickroll's
Day.
Day, but then I tried to mix Rickroll and April.
Fools.
Well, in my head, so that's
Oh no.
significantly worse.
That's not what we're doing.
No, I'm gonna have to cut that part out, but I still needed you to hear it. So it's so bad. But what I was gonna tell you
Okay.
is, so I was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I was
never
a-
knew.
Absolute fucking piece of shit of a teacher. Okay.
I
So
don't think you were that bad.
no, I was great. I was honestly fantastic. Like I made
I don't
myself
toot my own
cry
horn, but I
sometimes.
was so fucking good.
I was. But my students were working at a local hospital, and I told them we had classes on Friday. So we worked out in the community Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, we did classwork. And I told them, like, hey, on Friday, we're going to learn some vocab words to go and work at this job site because, you know, it's a hospital. They have some different terminology for the different locations. Like, I want you guys to be prepared. And they're like, okay, cool. I made up a bunch of different words.
Oh my God.
And then made it like a spelling thing. They had to like match it to the definition. And then they were at the job site and they were like, oh yeah, that's a flugel. Go ahead. I know what that is. I know what to do with a flugel. I could not keep a straight face. I was crying, laughing. And they all looked at me and I was like, hey, April Fools, you idiots. No, I didn't say that. Fucking got him.
April Fool.
I did steal that from, I think, a teacher on Vine.
Oh, really?
He did it. Yeah.
That is so good.
It's so funny.
I'm
Just to like make up words and be like, have you guys ever heard that? You haven't? Oh, well, You should look it up. Ask
Well,
your parents about it.
I do that anyways, but it's just me mispronouncing words. And I'm like, no, you don't know what McMahon is? It's Ed McMahon.
I was just drooled on myself.
He was, well, I almost said Dancing with the Stars, but that's not it.
Mm-mm.
What was it?
Is he alive?
I almost said Make-A-Wish. That's all right. America's Got Talent.
No, I think he does the ball drop.
What?
He made that ball drop.
Is he alive? Maybe.
I don't know.
Hmm.
You guys tell us. Leave it in the comments below. Is
Is
Mick McMahon?
Ed McMahon alive?
If he's not, he died today.
Oh my God.
Fool.
Oh, you can't.
April Fool.
April Fools.
Anyway,
That's
okay.
terrible. Ed, are you okay?
Is he alive?
No, I think he's fine.
I
I think he's fine.
I think he's dead. Do you have your phone?
I'm gonna
Look it up.
I would feel really bad if he's dead.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you think his grandchildren have dead grandpa money and that they have Dyson Airwraps?
Probably. Okay. Ed.
This is our next 1-star review. Don't want to hear you making fun of the dead.
Oh my God. Do better.
Is he dead?
I can't see. Died. Oh my God. He died in 2009, right before my birthday.
In
Right in
2009?
between our birthdays.
Betwixt?
Betwixt our birthday. June 23rd.
Oh.
Wow.
R.I.P.
Sorry. Well, he was old as fuck, so, but that's still sad. God damn, he was old.
Okay.
You can cut that.
Is that his eulogy? Dearly departed. God damn, he was old.
He was almost 100. That's
Yeah.
impressive. That's just impressive to me.
Yeah.
I don't mean it as a bad thing.
Because we've already said
Please
that. I
don't
definitely
fucking
think I'm
yell
gonna,
at me.
Yeah, if you guys
Internet.
the bonus episode that we're gonna record after this is responding to hate comments.
Yeah,
and
but don't
reviews.
like put hate comments to try to like get in
Yeah.
on there because it's not funny to us and we honestly do cry about them.
Yeah, no,
that's
it's
not a joke.
It's not a funny like reacting to hate comments. It's like we genuinely want to talk about how it affects us and why we think that they're like not always constructive, or the ones that are constructive
Could be better.
Or
do better.
or like why, like how we use those, or if we even can. You know what I mean? So
we
anyway,
can't. Turns out.
we're doing that on Patreon. So
Yeah.
if you want to hear us cry, you can go there. Okay.
But now we're gonna cry for a different reason.
do you think?
I don't know.
Are you gonna cry?
No.
Okay.
I
We're-
don't ever. So
We're talking about turning red,
Yes.
which controversial. Bit of a controversial.
I don't know why.
Me neither.
But I guess I
I
do
truly
because
don't
I
know
know
why.
what Christians are like. They also thought that Harry
Yeah.
Potter was controversial. And like, I'm not saying all Christians, for the love of fuck. I am not saying all Christians. But a lot of Christians ruin a lot of shit, including Harry Potter. Like, let people like things. Holy shit.
people weren't allowed to watch. I remember being at church when I was still going to the Catholic church.
My pastor did like a whole fucking thing on Harry Potter, and it was my favorite. It was like what saved me as a child when I was being mercilessly bullied. It was like my escape into,
Yeah.
and they just were like, "You're going to hell. Fuck Harry Potter, wizards, magic, devil." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm like 9. Relax."
Yeah. Well, and like I was gonna. The reason I chuckled at that is because the movie I was gonna reference that they talked about at my church was the Da Vinci Code.
Oh yeah,
Like
that was a big one.
That one didn't save me. I do like Tom Hanks though.
Well, I read that book too. It's not as good now when I read it, but it was like a
Yeah.
good book back in the day.
It was a cool movie.
Yeah.
Like I liked it, but it made the Catholic Church look bad. So they're like, if you watch this, you are actively going against God. And I was like, I think that's you saying that. I
Yeah.
don't think that's
Yeah,
God saying that.
exactly. God didn't tell me that. I talked to
yeah.
him frequently.
And I know that someone had mentioned on our last episode about like the whole there's a clip here.
What the fuck?
Oh, sorry again. The not all Christians thing. But for you who's experienced religious trauma, and for me who's experienced religious trauma,
Seriously.
it was at the hands of Christianity.
Yep.
And so like I don't know when you say I'm a Christian, I don't know what
What
kind
of Christian you are? Are you
Yeah.
the one that's going to tell me I'm going to burn in hell for something I liked as a 9-year-old child?
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know because
Again,
I was told that all Christians should fucking hate Harry Potter, and I really liked it.
So we're going to talk more about that in the faith episode that's coming out this month as well.
Yeah. Tune into that one, Christians. I'm kidding. But
No.
honestly, you should.
No, I think so. I think it's important. And I responded to the person who commented on it, and I hope that they listen because I think I think our take on it now, our 2.0 is important. Anyway, but another thing I wanted to mention from last week's episode, because you were talking about Christians, is someone messaged us saying like, hey, I know that you guys have said like if you say something that can be perceived as offensive or is misinformation or like that you want to know about it.
Could be harmful in a way.
Yes. So I said, hey, yeah, please feel free to message me.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was on the Discord. And so this person messaged me and was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, when you guys were talking about Greek mythology and you mentioned, and it was specifically me, I'm pretty sure, that it's all made up.
Oh, yeah.
They were saying that as a pagan, their ancestors worshipped them and believed them. And so like I never thought about that.
That is why in my drunken stupor, why I tried, I don't know if it connected, but like why I was trying to relate that to Christianity, because I was like, I know to us right now, it seems like wild that people believe this, but also Jonah was like swallowed by a whale and like lived inside of it. And Christians believe that is to be taken literally. So like
that's what I said.
In a lot of religions, I feel like there's so like things that you could look at. Yeah.
Well, and that's why when I responded, I was like, I never even thought of it that way because they teach it in school
as mythology,
mythology, and also like historical. Yeah. So in my head, I was like, I almost felt like it was a genre. And I thought like they're not teaching other religions in school.
Right.
So I didn't make that correlation, which again, we've already established that the school system did us dirty in lots of ways. This was just another way that it was almost probably a way to invalidate the pagans, is saying like this is not, we are claiming this is not real now.
Yeah.
So,
but nobody would ever do that with Christianity.
Right. That's why I wanted to bring it up because I was like, what?
I like that.
What an important piece of this puzzle that like and again, I never even thought of.
If I'm saying these things with Christianity, I'm not saying a blanket statement that it's not real. I'm saying I don't believe it, but I'm not saying you can't.
Well,
like,
I'm also I talk about it because I have personal experience with it.
Yeah.
I have been personally harmed and affected by it.
Right.
People that I love have been personally affected and harmed by it.
Yep.
Everyone who's Christian has turned this off.
Yep.
I hope not. And I hope you don't feel targeted because I think that it's important.
We're not talking about you specifically. It's just as a whole.
Well, and this person who I commented back to about Christianity.
Also, that I'm going off on this is because it directly correlates with this movie and the people and what they have to say about it. So, anyways, go on.
But I responded to this person, and they said, like, I wish we could sit down and have a conversation. And I think that that's important. I think sitting down and having conversations about that.
I appreciate reviews and critiques like that because it opens up a dialogue. Instead of just being pretentious and telling people you need to be better, you need to blah, 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 like almost talking down to somebody, that to me,
what can I do with
immediately makes me want to shut down and be like, well, fuck you. Then you're being like, whatever. And like, there's a thing.
And I'm the opposite. I'm like, let's get into this. Let's get into why you feel the need to
be smarter than me
or
know more
or steer this conversation, label this conversation. This is all topics for another time. And I know we are ladies at tangents and we go off topic all the time, but I want to go back. This is all stuff we want to talk about in another episode, which is why I'm going to table it. But Turning Red.
Okay.
It was given bad reviews specifically, and the Christians brought up Christianity.
Yep.
It wasn't like another way around. It wasn't like someone gave a review and they're like, you only said that because you're Christian. No, they said
specifically brought it up.
This person who I think it kind of went viral. So if you heard about Turning Red, I think you probably would have seen this.
Yeah.
But they specifically said, if you're a Christian, don't watch this movie.
Or don't let your kids watch it.
Yes.
Because blah, 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 blah. And like one of the things was like, she says crap, which like is hilarious because I know 13-year-olds say a lot fucking worse.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, they're trying to make a movie that's realistic and
there's worse words in the Bible.
Here, truly.
Yeah.
And worse actions.
Yep.
But I think, because somebody in the comments said that, they were like, but you'll let your kid read a book with like raping and murdering and pillaging and, you know, things like that. But God forbid we talk about periods, or God forbid we talk about puberty and like, not sexuality, but like womanhood, becoming a woman, which, I mean, it does happen to people as young as like 9-year-old girls, probably younger. It can. So like, I think it's something that is important to be talked about, because what I loved about this is there's not, like our Lord and Savior Britney Spears always said, I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
Yes.
And that fucking in between
is hard.
And there's not really anything for you.
Right.
So you can't watch adult things because everybody in the world is telling you you're still a child, and like understandable, but you don't watch kid shit because you're trying to figure out and navigate, and there's nothing like specifically.
And if there shows that are like based in middle school or based in high school, they're played by people that are older
and
the storylines are like not realistic either.
No. And they're kind of like not dumbed down, but they don't talk about things like periods. They don't talk about things like being. I mean, they do talk about like being boy crazy, but not in the way that like 13-year-olds are.
Almost in an obnoxious way.
Yeah.
I feel like
we're specifically targeting you, Disney Channel.
Well, I was going to bring up Boy Meets World. I feel like when we were growing up, Boy Meets World was a show that like was for the in-between. We we like grew up with them.
Truly. That was so nice.
And they did talk about like teen drinking. They talked about skipping school. They talked about like, remember
sex.
the one episode where Topanga was up in the room and she was like, I don't feel comfortable with this. They like talked about consent.
Yeah.
So like they didn't shy away from things like that. It didn't need to be like what kind of humor is it? Like slappy humor?
Yeah, goofy.
Yeah, like not, they dealt with like real shit.
Yeah, I like that.
So if you guys don't have Disney Plus, we recognize that like not everyone has Disney Plus, especially after we talked about Encanto and things like that.
Right.
But I think culturally this is just an important
topic
societally.
Yeah, so you really don't have to watch the movie to get what we're talking
essentially
about.
The movie though is like a coming of age story where a middle schooler is
13-year-old
experiencing a transition.
She becomes a panda.
And she's struggling with who she is and who she is supposed to be.
Yep.
Which is
and then you also
emotional.
have one of the most like underrated things that I've never personally seen, especially in a kids movie, which is when there's like a I don't want to say toxic, but like a problematic parent.
Yep.
Normally it's like evil to its core. They never show like loving, very caring parents can be problematic.
Yes.
And that is something that I was like, wow, that is refreshing to see.
Yep.
Because I think that a lot of people struggle with that, because you are like your
you don't
parents
realize
gave
it's problematic.
you everything, but they also controlled everything, or you felt like you were pressured to make them happy because they gave you everything and things like that. That's something that it doesn't get represented.
And it was generational.
Yes.
What was so wild to me, and if you haven't watched the movie, please go and watch it. But the mom in the movie was, like you were saying, was loving hard.
Yeah.
She was, her way of showing her love and trying to protect her daughter was being somewhat of a helicopter parent.
Overbearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's because that was the type of mother she had as well.
Yep.
But how did she react when she got a call from her mother?
Exactly.
She didn't want to talk to her. She wanted nothing to do with her. She had such a terrible relationship with her mom, but she was creating the same dynamic with her child.
Exactly. You can't break the system, but you don't want, you don't like it, but it's almost like it's all I know kind of a thing.
That's exactly it, is you don't know what you don't know. And so this mom was just doing what was modeled for her as a parent. It's the same way if you were raised in a household with parents who have a toxic relationship, you're more likely to accept toxicity in your relationships because you're like, this is normal. This is what I see.
Seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think it's good because people can look at her and know that she wasn't a villain. Like, she's not portrayed in a villainous light, and she might be the antagonist in the movie, but like, she's not a bad person, and you can see that in the movie. And I think that is also helpful for the parents that are watching. Like, the generation above us, who I think sometimes feels attacked when we
Yep.
do things differently.
Well,
like,
I think that was
why? Because you
With
didn't
the-
like the way I did it? Did I fuck you up so bad? Blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. Getting defensive
Oh,
right
I get.
off the
I was
bat.
just such a bad parent.
Yeah.
And it gets gaslighty, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but we know more now.
Yeah, and it
so-
was the things that you did. I understand you did them out of love, but also you have to understand the effect it had.
Yes. Yes.
And that's important too.
We can't see in the future. Well, and
No.
that I wanted to go back a second because
Go ahead.
in Encanto, everyone looked at Abuela as like this
Mhm.
villain,
Mhm.
but it's the same thing. It's just
Yes.
generational trauma.
Yep.
It's just I know what I know. I have these feelings. I'm trying to protect what I love.
experienced this.
Yes.
I want to protect you because I know what's coming for you, almost kind of thing.
Right. But we can't see into the future.
Mhm.
So we can't see how the choices that we make now are going to affect people in the future.
Yeah.
Like Domino's. I have not like the pizza like last
I
week.
immediately got hungry.
Or 2 weeks ago. Oh yeah, we're filming this in advance because last week you guys saw us hanging out with
Yeah.
2 girls, one
One
ghost. And
That was so lovely. We love
that
them
was
so
fun.
much. Yeah.
And if you haven't listened, they put out an episode on Sunday
Yeah.
with us. So you can go over to their feed and check that out.
Yeah.
Check that out. Okay. Anyway.
A little plug in there.
Domino's. That's where I was.
Yeah.
So like we can't see what decisions that we make all the way down the line, like how it's going to end up.
Mhm.
So if I make a decision now for Ollie thinking I'm doing the right thing, like let's say when he's 16, I put a tracker on his car.
Mhm.
So I know where he is.
Yep.
And I know how fast he's going. And I have all of that stuff.
Mhm.
I think that's great because I'm keeping track of my kid. I'm
You're
able to
protecting
protect him.
Mhm.
I can come up with 1,000 reasons as to why that's a good thing. But
Down the line.
down the line, he's not going to feel like I trust him.
He's got trust issues. He's got privacy issues.
Yep.
He's got all this like bottled up probably resentment or feeling like, like people in his life can't be trusted or always going to spy on him. And then,
Yep. Or that he has to give all of that to someone else. That nothing
Yes.
is his own.
yes.
That he isn't allowed to have boundaries.
yeah.
So
The very first thing that she says, I took a note of because I was like, oh, damn, we're about to freaking,
I need to find my note.
this movie's about to be awesome.
Hold on
So-
1 second.
Okay.
I want to find mine because it's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's been 1 week since you looked at me. So the very first thing that's said in the movie, it says, the number one rule in my family, honor your parents. They're the supreme beings who gave you life, who sweated and sacrificed so much to put a roof over your head, food on your plate, an epic amount of food. The least you can do in return is every single thing they ask.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, some people are like, be careful. Honoring your parents sounds great, but if you take it too far, well, you might forget to honor yourself.
Yes.
And then she says,
100%.
but me, I don't have that problem, which the entire movie is that she
Yes.
obviously does. But that right off the bat, like gripped me, and I was like,
Mhm.
that's the best fucking way that I've ever heard a movie start out. Because instantly, a lot of movies is like symbolism. You have to read through the
Yep.
lines. Even with Encanto a little bit, it was kind of like reading through to
Yep.
find the symbolism. This is telling you right off the bat, this is what we're going to talk about,
Well,
and this is why
I
it's a
think
problem.
That's the point. Is
Yes.
because it's targeting people,
Towards-
who are targeting. I don't want to call them children, but like young adults,
not a
preteens,
girl.
yeah,
Not yet.
who are
As somebody
in
who
a-
has a 10-year-old that is
Yeah.
transitioning into this, that is a difficult age,
Yes.
man. It is. He's being still treated kind of like a child
Yeah.
when he's around my family, and then he goes to school and he is trying to be cool. He
Yeah,
talks
what's
about how he's got
expected
to
of
be
him.
cool with his friends, and like it's just like,
Yeah.
really difficult. I think
Mhm.
the world still views you as a child, but
Yep.
everybody else, your peers, are trying to one up each other.
yes,
and
who's
become
gonna grow up
adults.
the fastest?
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's just a lot. So
Because it's almost like having babyish things or kiddish interests makes you uncool
Yes.
for some reason.
Yep.
Because being an adult is cool, I guess. Which,
loving your parents also, because Noah won't blow me. He used to blow me a kiss every morning when he left. He would get out and turn around and blow me a kiss, and he asked me like, "Do you care if I don't do that? Because people are watching."
Aw.
And I was like, I knew it was gonna come eventually, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it.
I would have been like, you blow mommy a kiss and then you blow them a middle finger. That's what we're doing here.
We do a mwah, and then a trumpet. No, but yeah, it's really hard. And also, but I love that right off the bat they're like, hey, we're told you're supposed to honor the people. Number one, we've said this multiple times. It's not a child. Children didn't wish to be here. So like the fact that
I think a lot of us adults would agree.
So like the fact
we didn't ask for this.
that a lot of children are treated as if they need to be super grateful for being just brought into the world. And it's like, you wanted this, not me.
And also, you kind of set it on fire before I got here. So like, thanks for that.
Like, but it's just crazy that like we have children. Like when I had children, I realized like, they owe me nothing. I chose to bring them into this world.
I owe
was
them
my
everything.
decision. Yeah. Like truly, I owe them everything. To expect them to just come out and be like perfect to me and do all of these things for me to benefit my life, to make my life easier is unrealistic. And
for them to fulfill dreams that you have for yourself, like
it's
pieces of your game.
No, it's the reason why so many people grow up and they're like, I don't know why my kids don't talk to me. It's like, do you don't really?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You think they're the problem?
Did you foster a relationship with them, or did you do some other things that made them maybe not want to be around you?
Exactly. And then
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think that was all that I had for that part. Okay.
I was gonna say that we've talked about before too that like the people who care for you, who are supposed to be your caregivers, who are doing the majority of your rearing. Yeah. Is that how they say it?
Yep.
They call it child rearing, but I've never heard it being like, I got reared. Those are my rearers.
Those are my rearers. Yeah, I'm not sure the tense is there.
Anyway,
oh, by the way, do we know that you're Miriam 100%?
Oh my God, 100,000%.
When I saw the picture, I was like, yeah, that's Sherry. But then I watched the movie and I was like, the mannerisms, the voice,
everything,
style, the way she walks, the way she acts. When she was like, what did she say? She's like, leave her alone or something. Yes. When she backs up, even Corey was like, oh my God, that is Jerry. And you like literally
I was watching that movie and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a cartoon.
Right.
Like, it was 100% me. And I love that they made all of the people in the movie look the way that they did.
Yes.
Because it was very much like, that is more realistic. Of what, it's more realistic. Mm-hmm. That is more what kids look like. Different sizes, different shapes, different like
awkward phases.
Yes.
Because
I hit that phase
went
hard.
Through it. I kind of looked like, is the main character's name Maymay?
Yeah, but people said that you looked like
Priya? Abby. That was it. Abby, and I feel like I looked.
Abby's got like fucking anger issues.
Well, that's what I feel like. Between the main character Maymay and Abby was like me growing up. So literally, I had the haircut.
Yep.
And the glasses, but I was kind of a spaz, but not that much. I feel like I was more of like the goody two shoes. I was just trying,
because you were quiet, because you were scared.
Truly, me in middle school trying to like please everybody, please the adults in my whatever. And then it was like, wow, she's being so rebellious when I was like, I just don't feel like getting out of bed anymore and living my life for other people. That's what it was. It was, I was living my life. Everything I was doing was to please someone else, and I didn't fucking want to do it anymore.
That's what I was going to bring up with the whole, like, the caregivers, your rearers, are supposed to help you shape your worldview. They're supposed to help you make sense of everything that's going on. And if all they're telling you is you are here to make me feel better about being your rearer, like...
so that my name looks better, so that I look better when people, I want pride. I want to be proud of you. So you need to make me proud of you. When I talk about you, I want good things to talk about.
Yeah. And when people come to me, I want them to have good things to say as well. Mm-hmm. So you need to do X, Y, Z, so have your name in the paper. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, okay, I guess that's my purpose. My purpose is to carry on this legacy. My purpose is to make sure that I make my family look good and that they have something to talk about and brag about. And so I'll do that. And then it's also my responsibility to keep everyone else in line and make sure that, you know, because I'm the oldest, I should be making sure that everyone else is doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Follow my lead.
And if they get in trouble, it's probably because I didn't stop them.
Yeah. Or didn't set a good enough example.
Like, what the hell? Yeah, like, that's your job.
Yeah. I'm not the parent.
Yeah. So it's tough because I think everyone goes through that.
Yeah.
And the mom as well went through that with her mom.
That's what we're saying too. So that's why I love that they didn't paint her as the bad guy. Because I think the generation above us and the one above them, it's all like a battle of like, so you think you know more than me, so you think you're better than me, blah, blah, blah.
But we do.
And that should be a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, again, when Noah's a parent or Sawyer, I hope that they know more than me. I hope that we can be like, oh, I didn't like the way that you did this, and that's fine. Cool. I'm going to do this with my kids and hopefully get a better outcome because they deserve it.
Yes. What? And that's something, who was I talking to? I don't remember. But I see on social media, like, you've probably seen it as well, where people are like, back in my day, we used to play until the streetlights came on.
We drank from a hose.
Yeah.
And played in our bare feet. Yeah. I had fucking athlete's foot every day.
So it's like, okay, first of all, so did I.
Yeah.
But they're like,
you think the kids don't play outside anymore? Like, we do.
I find my kid outside all the time.
They play with bugs constantly.
In snow.
Yeah.
Barefoot. Uphill both ways. But normally on that thread, it's like, those were the good old days and they aren't coming back. Now they're doing this. And it's like, okay, what makes that the good days? Mm-hmm. Because what we're doing now is different.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be labeled the greatest generation on earth?
Right.
Or in history? I hope to God that I am not a part of the greatest generation on earth.
No, this can't be as good as it gets.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I hope it's not.
I hope that we're making progress. I hope that we are doing our part. But I hope to fuck that we are not as good as it gets.
No, this can't be as good as it gets.
I don't ever want to look at generations after us and be like, nah, you fucking ruined it. You missed the point. If you'd have just done what we did.
Fucked it up.
I don't believe that. And no, like, I can already see Gen Z, and I don't know what the other gens are, but I feel confident. I feel so good.
Pride when I see certain things that they do. It just makes me so happy.
I'm not gonna say never, but like 9 times out of 10, I'm going to look to someone who is coming to me and presenting new information with credibility, like source wise, not like age wise, like not on my rubric.
Yeah,
but like, I'm accepting that information, being like, thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to educate me on something that I didn't have before.
Yep.
Like, it's okay not to know something. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to do better and do different.
Yeah.
You know?
I just like that information presented differently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at times.
Yeah.
But
for the most part, when we do get it, honestly, when we do, we are so receptive because it's people that are fucking amazing that are like, hey, well, it's because people know our intentions, I feel, when they message us. They know we're not immediately pieces of shit, and they know that we want to do better. And so they're like, this is what I have to give to you. Do with it what you will.
But what I was going to say is, when we present that information to people who are older than us, to other generations, even if we think we're doing it in a good way, they're like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to,
they
young
don't receive it as well.
Young buck? Get out of here. Do you know how old I am? And I'm like, what
does that have to... Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I have the internet. I don't know.
Turns out age isn't like, you don't. I agree to an extent that like experiences make you wiser, but also we all have the internet. Like, education wise, you can get there.
But people who are younger could have more experience than someone else who's older.
That's so true.
Like,
I've been through so many things.
That's what I'm saying. I could have experiences that
they would never have.
Yeah.
Because they've married the same man right out of high school.
There's that.
You know?
There's maybe they haven't had children. Maybe they don't want to have children. Maybe they haven't experienced a loss. Maybe
don't live in a very diverse place.
Maybe they've never experienced poverty. Like, there's so many things.
Shout out raw potato eaters.
You know who you are.
Yes.
I am falling off of this couch right now.
Why?
Because Mosby is like,
we have to stop doing this.
I know.
All right, so let's talk about what everybody came here for.
Have we not started that yet?
menstruation.
Oh, menstruation. Yeah.
Let's talk about periods.
Yeah.
Because
let's
God,
talk about blood, baby. Let's
God
talk
does
about
not want
bleeding.
periods to be talked about. One of the things on Facebook, because there was multiple. That movie, I was expecting that movie to be like, whoa, what the fuck? And when I watched it, I was like, this is what people are literally freaking the fuck out about? It just was silly and funny and good, but it had good. Anyways, one of the things was like, I watched this with my 6-year-old grandson, and they talked about periods. I had to shut it off. First of all, if girls that young can experience it, boys that young need to be taught about it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you explain to him what was going on? Why are we... The fact that girls have... every single girl you know, I guarantee it. Or, sorry.
Uterus having person.
Every single uterus haver.
Yeah.
Has a story or a traumatizing experience related to their period.
Yep.
Why? Because they were meant to feel shameful when an accident around it happened.
Yep.
Or... an accident did happen because they lacked the knowledge, because they were embarrassed to tell somebody. I didn't tell my mom until like probably the second or third time I had mine. I kept it a secret. I put toilet paper in because I was afraid to wear pads and tampons because I was embarrassed. Now, when we talked about that, I was in high school.
Yeah.
I was in high school. If I had started even any younger than that.
I never wanted to get it.
No, I was so it was something that I was
I don't
so
need kids.
Embarrassed about. Like when I was drunk, I talked about being like, when's it my turn? But honestly, it was just because that was like something that me and my friends had talked about. I didn't want people to ask about it. I didn't want people to know. I didn't want to have to start carrying pads and tampons around. The shame that young people are meant to feel around something that is so fucking normal that happens to half of the world?
That's what I was going to say. It's not even like
it's not even like shitting yourself where it happens to just
it happens. It happens sometimes. No, like if you were born with a uterus, you're going to have one.
Yeah, like it bleeds. That's it. That
biologically that happens.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. Probably, I'm assuming there might be like a. So if you're an exception, I'm so sorry. But
yeah.
But for the most part,
yes,
that's what's gonna happen. So the fact that I just think it's so weird that when this happens. Like I said, I watched it with my 10-year-old. He didn't even ask questions. So I think that he's in 4th grade. So I think that he's already had that. But like if he did, would have been no problem. But we've also talked about things like that before. Like when he was younger. And I don't feel like the way that people make it like almost a sexual thing, which I understand it has to do with
weird
sexual organs, but like it is like a hygienic thing. Like it's not a sexual act.
Yes.
So like it's fucking weird that we like feel the need to protect young boys from knowing that women or girls or people with uteruses bleed.
Yes.
Like that.
I just got off my period and Ollie. So I'm a pee and poop with the door open kind of gal. Like I just always have been.
Me too.
And
I still do. Noah just knows. He like announces himself before he comes upstairs. I'm like, yes, I'm in the bathroom.
We don't have like, if you walk back to Ollie's room, like you have the bathroom's right there.
Yep.
Like our house
toilet
is not very big.
like right there.
Yes, our bathroom is so small.
It is.
So like, I've always just gone to the bathroom with the door open, and I knew that was actually helpful for a young child, like for a toddler, because they need to learn how to use the toilet. So watching someone else use the toilet, again, not in like a weird way,
right,
is like familiarizing themselves with it. Like I was
it's
at the doctor,
scary.
right? I was at the doctor with Forrest,
yeah,
and he grabbed a tissue and then he just like was rubbing it on his pants because he was like, "This is what you do with it." Yeah, and like that's a good thing that they know how to do those.
I've seen Ollie do them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ollie now is to an age where he's going to start going to preschool. He's going to start like interacting with people, and I want him to understand like consent and respecting people's privacy, whether that's like watching them do something or physically with their person. And so I was on my period last week, and I closed the door, which like to him is like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
absolutely not. And I said like, I need to change my flex disc, bud. I am on my period and I need a little bit of privacy.
Yep.
And he is now he's like, oh, okay, got it. But like, I want him to understand that like
That
this
should be
is
a
just
normal
something that I
thing.
do.
That's just a normal thing that we have to do. And it has to deal with blood. So like, we're not saying you have to like show it to them.
No.
But having the conversation around it shouldn't be something that's like,
yeah.
you know,
And like, I don't ever want my son to be someone at school
who makes fun of.
who makes a big deal and like causes shame and embarrassment. Could he still be that person? Yeah. Like I can't control him.
Right.
But like, I do want to expose him to something so that he isn't like, oh my God, what is that? So gross.
There are fucking grown men still that will freak out about like, I remember one time as a waitress, I used to keep tampons before I switched to the flex disc. I put tampons in my apron. Because you don't have time to go back and dig in your purse.
Right.
Like when you got to go like to the bathroom, you just got to go. And I went to like get my change bag out and there was like a table of like 40 to 50-year-old men.
Oh no.
I pulled it out and the tampon just like fell to the floor. And the looks on their face was like, I just told them to eat my fucking ass or something. Like they were just like horrified. They were like, and I was like, oh, my bad. Like it was like
it's not open.
Like it's not used.
Yeah.
It's just in the fucking.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant by open.
But it was literally to them like I had just exposed that I was bleeding, and now all of a sudden I was a disgusting beast that was like, get her away from my table.
Don't let her touch my food.
I can't.
You carry it out with your vag.
I'm just like, sorry, I'm free bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
But
I thought about free bleeding the other day.
Dude, why not?
Sometimes I do, but I wear my Thinks underwear. It's so freeing.
Well, that's
damn.
It's so annoying having to shove shit up there all the time and whatever. Now I understand free bleeding freaks me out just because I'm a blood phobic person. So like,
well, that's why I mean free bleed in my Thinks underwear.
Yeah. So it's not just like onto things.
No.
But like, it just is confusing to me why we have this like. That is something I will never understand. Why, like, well, it's women too, but it's all people. But like a lot of times it's like grown adult men that are like about or like the older generation is so like, don't tell people, it is a secret, we never talk about it, it is so, but like, why? We talk about going poop, we talk about peeing, those are all also kind of gross things, but like it's a normal thing that we all do. So like if men were bleeding too, would we all talk about it? Because it would be a universal thing that we all did.
I have to tell you about this TikTok.
Okay.
So what you're
also some men do bleed. I just want to say that as well. I'm not trying to say when I talk about this, I'm talking like on a larger scale, but I want to say that as well.
Yes. Okay. So I was perusing the clock app as one does, and this creator, Ayanda Stood, AYANDASTOOD. Okay. So she's talking about. Sorry, I don't know your pronouns, and you don't have them in your profile, I don't think. So I'm just going to say they. Anyway, so they're talking about how everything is made up, which we've talked about before as well. And they were saying, if it's made up, whose imagination are we living in? We are living in the white man's imagination.
Yep.
And that's why colonization is so problematic, because all of the societal norms are based on the white man's imagination.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like you saying these old white guys or these old guys are like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
What if it was like, oh my God, she's bleeding. This is amazing.
Because boners aren't a disgusting thing. We had to fucking know about boners, and we knew that guys were getting them, and we knew about wet dreams.
And like, it was our responsibility to
look away. Make sure if they have their books over it, we knew what the fuck that meant. But we looked away. We were like,
don't embarrass them.
I would never have pointed it out. And I never watched anybody point like a boner out.
Yeah.
But God forbid if a girl or anybody bled through their pants.
There would be guys who would joke about it and talk about it or like fake it and like it was a funny thing.
Yeah.
But like if we sat in ketchup and we're like, ooh, got my period, it would be like fucking gross.
Disgusting.
That's not funny. Yeah. It's so hypocritical.
So hypocritical.
And I think that's why, and I'm speaking
honestly,
for you.
Again, that's not a sex act, but like boners are. So like, I don't understand. But go on.
I'm going to speak for you here, but
Please
I feel like we like this movie because part of the premise of the podcast is to normalize being a human.
Yes.
And I feel like this movie normalizes the human experience, especially for a young adult, a preteen. And like the whole thing that's like, it promotes lying. It doesn't promote lying.
It just says that it happens, which it does happen.
It shows you what happens when there isn't trust built between caregiver and child.
When a child thinks that the only way that they
are going to receive love,
is to be perfect. Of course they're going to lie when they're not perfect. That's the way that it...
If I feel like I'm going to be restricted from access to things...
That's what happens when you give conditional love.
Yes. If I think you are going to restrict my access to things that I need for either my mental, emotional, physical well-being, I'm going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what you want to hear so I can still have access to my stuff. It's survival. It's a literal survival technique. They're not being...
they are going through a rebellious phase, but it's because they have something to rebel against.
I mean, technically it's disobedience.
Yeah.
Technically it's rebellious. But at the core of it, it's survival.
Yep.
It is, I need to get my needs met, but I also need to protect myself from having my needs revoked from me by
because
you.
You're using love as a bargaining chip.
Yes.
And I have to receive that because that's literally something that people need, but especially children.
And that's why when you grow up, you as an ambiguous you person in the world who is relating to this, that's why when someone grows up and they don't want to have a relationship with their parent anymore, it's because it's been transactional and I no longer want this exchange.
Nope. I'm in charge now.
I don't need what you're selling anymore.
Nope.
So I'm in charge.
I created my own love.
Yep.
I don't need your love anymore because your love
I bake my own pie.
Yes. Because I had to have all your ingredients when I was baking your pie and now I make my own. So I don't need yours anymore.
Yeah.
Love that.
I know.
But yeah. Friggin' periods.
Do you want to talk about periods more?
No, but also just like puberty in general. I just love that they like stinkiness and like Noah has to start using deodorant now.
Oh,
me
too. I smell like a Whopper all the time.
His stepmom texted me and was like, I was doing his laundry just so you know, and I sniffed his hoodie, and so we're gonna be buying him some of this. I'm gonna give him an extra.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Don't you sniff a 10-year-old's hoodie.
They're like, I'm gonna give you an extra. Oh, I think I was supposed to send that stick back. Whoops, hopefully they have an extra one. But they're like, I'm going to give you an extra stick so that he can keep it at your house.
Don't let him be the Axe body spray kid.
No, it smells really good.
Okay.
It's just a stick of deodorant.
No, I'm just saying don't let him be the Axe body spray kid because as a former preteen.
You think my kid's a douche?
And also a former teacher. There's always that one fucking Axe kid who keeps it in his locker and sprays it like crazy, and then no one in the hall can breathe.
No.
So don't let him be that kid.
I won't.
Okay, thanks.
What else? I loved the the other thing that they're like 13-year-olds oogling after a 17-year-old boy. That never happens. I oogled after a fucking bunny. I'll tell you right now, it definitely happens. Puberty makes you go crazy.
I remember. I don't remember a lot from my childhood. I genuinely am concerned about the amount of memory loss I have, but I know exactly where I was when I first saw NSYNC.
That's what I'm saying. And literally, you want to say that like when we were young. You're trying to say, oh, this is bad for children. We were literally scream singing the lyrics, am I sexual? Yeah.
I remember I was sitting at this, like, is it a peninsula? It was like this like bar top. And there was a little tiny TV in the corner and I'm eating cereal. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, fuck, what was the song? You're all I ever wanted. Yes. And I'm like drooling with my milk is just falling from my mouth.
Literally.
They're in the rain and they're just fucking gyrating. And I'm like, why is my vagina?
I'm feeling feelings. It's feeling feelings.
Why do I feel like a horse is munching something in my pants?
No, but honestly, and people don't want to talk about it because I understand it's what?
Trobin.
If you don't want to talk about that because you don't want to think about like minors. Right.
Yes.
But it's puberty. Hormones make that happen.
Yeah.
So like and there was nothing sexual. They were just like drooling over these boys, which again, even if I didn't know like anything about sex, really, truly.
Well,
when I say I wanted to F a
problem.
rabbit, that was a joke, people. I didn't even know what the fuck that meant. I thought it just meant kissing for a really long time. Like, that's what I thought the sex was.
Yeah.
So, like, I was just like, I want that attention. I want him to notice me. I want him to like me. I want to, like,
I want to
touching
feel pretty.
arms or, like, holding hands. Oh, my God. I remember the first time that I got, like, an intimate hug from a boy I liked. I thought I was going to explode. I was like, oh my God.
See,
this is wonderful.
Okay, the reason I think it's so fucking important to acknowledge the fact that starts happening way younger than we think that it should is because if you don't talk about it, it doesn't make it go away. It doesn't mean that you're not going to experience it. All it means is that they're not going to have the tools that they need to handle it when it does.
Exactly.
So I know that when we got to go on a 8th grade trip to the bowling alley, I was sitting at the bowling alley with a guy playing was it red light, green light, whatever, where like
on your thigh,
yes, where they would move their hand up higher and higher and higher, and me being the competitive little bitch I was,
you're like, I'm never gonna say,
I will never fucking say red light. You could be inside me and I'd be like, I don't fucking care, but like obviously I did care. I just wanted to win. But like, had I had a conversation saying like, your body is your body,
matters.
Yes, I would have felt more comfortable
being like, hey, this isn't a thing that we should be doing at all.
Yes.
Because now I know what you're trying to do. Because again,
I had no clue.
If you don't talk about your kids or like have a conversation, watch this movie and get a watered down version and then have a conversation with them. They're going to seek it out from their peers, and you don't know what their peers are going to say or where they learned it from and what information they're about to tell your child. That's real. That is realistic. From two people who I never had a sex talk with either one of my parents, and I got all of my information from people I never should have.
I got all of mine from Passions, the soap opera. So
like all of mine was, I should not have received it from the places I did. And same with like, well, not really period stuff. I guess I did a little bit, but it was still like an embarrassing, like we're going to talk about it in quiet and not even fucking blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And now that I have a daughter, it like literally makes me freak out that I have to like, this is just like first reaction is whatever based on what do you say it is? First reaction is like
your first response is not your responsibility.
Yeah.
Your
so
second
like
one
when
is.
I was watching this, I looked at
you're not, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It is your responsibility. But like your first reaction, your first thought to something isn't your fault because that was what was ingrained in you.
Yeah. So like when I was watching this, I literally got that, oh God, shame, panic. My son is watching this and he's going to ask questions. And also I was looking over at my daughter and like, oh God, I'm going to have the period talk and
now.
How uncomfortable. But you know, and then
she's 6 months old and you're like, it's time we have this talk.
We got to talk about things.
Yeah.
But then I was like, why am I freaking out about that? Why is that a thing that like I'm afraid of? And it was because that was like something that when it was talked about with me was like shameful. Like, I remember one time. This is one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me, and I never told anybody. I started my period when I was on vacation, so I had.
I love that you're telling it for the first time to thousands of people.
I trust you all with this super embarrassing story. So I was with my step family and cousins, all older people than me, and then adults, and I started my period while I was at the beach. And you know how when you get off, so. We got out of the ocean and then we had to walk like a block to our thing. Yeah. And you know, when you get out, I didn't have a towel on or anything. So water is dripping down my body anyways. So I'm not even thinking about it. And someone came up and like ran up behind me and grabbed me with a towel and just like took off running. I think it was an older adult. And they were like, don't say anything. But I was in front of everybody, by the way, walking. And here I had started just like bleeding down my legs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank God you weren't in the ocean.
I know. Terrified. Well, I might have been bleeding in the ocean. I don't know.
No wonder you're so obsessed with Shark Week.
They were just around me.
Yeah.
So yeah. But then that adult made it like almost, I wish they would have just been like, hey, come here, like it's fine. But they made it like I have to take you away.
Oh my god,
because this is disgusting and people saw
like
it.
you were a bomb.
Yeah, like literally was like,
get it away from everyone.
People can see this.
Yeah.
Now that person, I totally respect that they were trying to not embarrass me.
Oh yeah, they were probably trying to protect you.
But it pisses me off that I even had to be the one.
Because
to
they
like
probably
feel embarrassed.
That's what I was gonna say. Is they probably felt shame around it.
Yes.
We're like, oh my god, this is a form of protection.
Yes,
but really they were just
because
transferring.
It was an older woman, and there was, like I said, there was a lot of older like guys around me.
Yeah,
and I think they were like, can't have them see, and don't want them to start making fun of you.
Yeah,
which I wish they would have just like not
told those guys
out,
to
but
fuck
like
off.
told the guys to like, because I think that they were whispering also and that pointing at it.
That makes me so sad for you.
It was really bad. It was so embarrassing.
What would you tell 10-year-old Sierra?
It's okay to bleed, girl. We all do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how old were you when that happened? Like 14?
I probably was 14. Yeah.
Okay. What would you tell 14-year-old Sierra? What would you say to those guys?
14-year-old Sierra would turn around and just be like, "What the fuck's wrong? What's wrong with you?"
14-year-old Sierra wouldn't do that.
No.
30-year-old
Sierra would turn around and be like, "You want to keep staring? Come on, keep looking. I'll do it even more."
She just rips off her bikini bottoms and just fucking
check it out.
Clots all over the place.
No, but honestly, I think I would just keep walking and be like, "Well, I'll wipe off when I get a towel. Like, relax. I'll get in the shower. It's not a big deal."
Yeah.
But 14-year-old me was like, I honestly thought that I had to leave.
14-year-old me was
I was
mortified.
like, can you take me home?
Yeah.
I don't want to be in North Carolina anymore.
You just like walk directly into the ocean for eternity.
Honestly, I don't want to be here anymore.
Submerge yourself.
Sometimes in the middle of the night, I still think about that.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it was that embarrassing. And then as an adult, I have to be like, why? Why was that so embarrassing?
I think about mine too.
They made me feel like I should be embarrassed. Like they were making fun of me for it. And that's so annoying. Why?
I started in health class.
Oh my God. That is like, what's the fucking word?
Ironic?
Well, I was going to say ironic, but also like symbolic.
Serendipitous?
Yeah.
Yeah. On a chair.
I thought you were going to say like on a Tuesday.
It might have been on a Tuesday. I don't know. But the guy I liked called it out and I was like, I want to die.
Yeah, mine was during an auditory, like a motivational speech.
You just said it was at the beach.
No, that's not when that's when I started I didn't
on a random month.
So like I didn't have it pinpointed down yet that like I needed to bring things.
Yeah, she was still a
like very erratic.
Yes.
I didn't have her pinpointed down.
Yeah, inconsistent lady.
Yeah. And that was the other thing too, is that I don't think that I was provided enough. No shame to my parents, because I was also just like, anytime my mom would talk about it, I'd be like, ah! And like run away.
Well, I think
I'd be like, don't fucking talk to me about this.
I think a lot of stuff in regards to like adult things, which I think people categorize period, sex,
right.
Just like hormones in general, or like emotions, because a lot of this movie was like regulating emotions and normalizing that.
Yeah.
I feel like all of that is like protect kids from those things until they're ready. Yep. But when are you ready?
Right.
Because if I'm 18 and now we're just having the sex talk, there's a chance that I have already encountered something that I could have, probably traumatic, that I could have prevented.
Yep.
Or that could have, I could have had tools to handle better.
Known that I didn't have to be pressured into it. Because then the people that you're gonna learn about things for, or people that you like, that you have like intimate feelings for, and so that's how people get pressured into doing things before they're ready, or with people they don't want. It's because,
and again, if you think that your relationship with your parents are transactional and it's conditional, you don't want to tell them that happened, because it's a letdown. And now,
and I was also going to say,
not proud.
Now you're taught that love is transactional. So if I give this to you, you'll keep loving me.
Yes.
To the guy.
Ow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. When you said that, I was going with that way with it, and it hurt my little young person heart.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's how Yeah.
Give your inner child a big old hug.
I am right now.
Whoever you are, wherever
also, I
you
love
are.
that she said, "My panda, my choice," and that was another thing that they freaked out about. And I was like, if you're not teaching your young daughters "my body, my choice," that's a fucking problem.
Yes. Oh, fuck! I was gonna wear my shirt. I got a shirt that said "my body, my choice."
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like even pro-life stuff. You should be teaching that saying to your young children. Period. Not even young daughters, children. Period. You need to teach them. Period. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's just important. Like all things, not even talking about abortion. Like that's not even been brought into it. But like my body, my choice is about consent.
Yes.
So like that's an important thing to teach your children. So don't make it like a political thing and
Which
not teach people
consent
that
shouldn't be a political thing.
Nope.
Anyway.
It should fucking never be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the things that they were freaking out about, and I was like, that's a good thing that she's talking about, like, hey, because they were all the
I was
adults,
like, good on you, Disney, for putting that in there, because that's you taking a fucking stand.
Yes.
Yep.
The adults were pressuring her, like, get rid of the panda. You don't need the panda. And she was like, well, maybe I like the panda. Maybe I want to be the panda sometimes. Yeah. So she's like, this is my life, my body, my choices. Like, I'm allowed to say that I might want to live this way. Just because you chose to get rid of yours, great. I want to keep mine.
Yeah. Something that I always, like, got really frustrated with growing up was what I felt was like a lack of trust in my ability to make a decision for myself. And I can recognize that it was probably an attempt to help me or use their experience to say, like, I want to protect you from the pain that I felt, so I'm trying to give you the playbook.
Yeah.
Follow this. But I always felt like you trying to control this part makes me feel like you don't trust your parenting.
Right.
Because if you did trust your parenting, you would already know that I'm going to make the right decision.
Yeah.
You would already know that you've equipped me with all the tools that I need to handle this. Yep. And if you don't think that, then you don't believe in yourself.
Yep.
You don't feel confident in your parenting.
Yep.
Because I feel like if you did, then you'd be like, she's got it.
Yeah.
I don't have to try to control this part. I don't have to tell her to get rid of the panda or to keep the panda. I don't have to tell her what to wear or what not to wear. I don't have to tell her that she can go to this concert or can't listen to this music. Like, you would know, I trust my kid. Yep. I trust that they're going
to make sound
and
decisions.
If they do make a mistake or they do experience pain in some way,
hopefully they can come to you.
They feel safe coming to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, I never learned lessons when people taught me lessons, quote unquote, taught me lessons. I learned lessons by making mistakes. And I know as a parent, that is one of the hardest freaking things, to let your child fall so that they can get back up themselves. I'm kind of a helicopter parent. So it is.
Sierra watching my children is a nightmare.
It really for her. So that's difficult. But it is important because eventually you're not going to be there for them anymore. So like, you need to give them the tools to get back up themselves.
And what you're modeling helps them figure out how to love other people and how to support other people. And so for me, because I felt like people, I don't want to say controlled, but like controlled the path that I was on, or I felt like I had to follow these things, I then got frustrated when people didn't do what I said when I said it. Because it was like, don't you know that I love you?
Yeah.
If you respected me and you loved me back, you'd just do what I say.
Yes. Yeah.
And you not doing what I say is like you actively showing me you don't care about me. You
don't give a fuck about me.
But that's not what that means.
Nope.
So like, I had a really distorted view of love and relationships and healthy engagement with people. So I feel like it's never too early to start introducing the foundation of those kind of things to your kids, because it's a pattern.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. And at what point are you going to change it?
Yep.
Or you're either never going to change it, or you're going to have to
do it now.
You're going to have to unlearn all of this shit and start a new one. And that's so difficult to have someone unlearn stuff. As someone who's currently unlearning a lot of things,
it's very hard.
It is hard.
And you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But keep going forward.
But acknowledging that you make a mistake and being like, you know what? I'm going to make a different choice next time. I learned something. That's important. Yes. That is a teachable moment.
Yeah.
That is a great modeling. That's a great model. It's good to model that.
I agree.
I was trying to like, sometimes when I look up, I guess I have a book in the sky like my dad, but it's almost like I see words and then I try and rearrange them.
Yeah, you're like, I can get this.
Yeah, I'm like, they're up there. What order do they need to go in? But anyway, I feel like that I had notes on it, but I have no idea where they're at now. But I feel like we covered all of the important things that I wanted to cover.
So, yeah.
So, let us know how you guys felt about turning red. Did it make you turn red, or did it make you cry?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, tell us.
Speaking of feeling, I'm starting to feel this rum.
Me
so
too.
I definitely might cry on the Patreon episode.
Me too. I can't wait.
Or
Or I might get mean.
okay.
But I'm excited. Both of those emotions are valid.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't like that kind of Patreon, here's a different Patreon preview for you to see if you want to do it. Something that I feel that we've done really well is find out how to marry information and experience.
And friendship.
Yes. It's like you are able to provide a piece of data or education or quote from something, and then we
relate to it
in a way that makes sense.
There's
makes it
reason
tangible.
why people we should have been called Ladies Intangibles. Missed opportunity.
Damn it. Rebrand.
There is a reason why people say we have big sister vibes and sleepover vibes and shit like that. We understand it's not going to be your thing, but that's why we go on 30-minute just updates on how we are. It's because we know how many podcasts there are that are just here's the meat and potatoes, there you go, goodbye, and we want to give you the full fucking buffet, baby.
Well, that's the thing is
some people want just the meat and potatoes, and fine, have your stupid fucking dinner. But I want a buffet.
How are you? Our intent was to create connection, and how are you going to connect with someone that you don't feel like you fucking know?
Yeah.
How are you going to trust any of the meat that they give you?
Yeah. Where'd that cow come from?
That's what I'm saying.
Mad cow disease? That's a real fucking thing.
Yeah. I saw a meme that was I
feel like these are all after the drug episode.
No, that one was before.
Oh, good.
Those were the last two were in 2021. Both of those people were saying that we have no content.
Well, I disagree.
We definitely put out 2 trauma bonding episodes.
Yeah.
We put out
you did talk about your smelly vagina right before that.
What are you gonna do? You know what? A little bit of smelly vagina, a little bit of trauma. I mean, what a transition, honestly, because that was a bit dramatic for me.
If anything, I would say that that's something that we could put a fucking, what's that thing called? We could put a trademark on, is the fact that we're able to marry smelly vagina and trauma bonding.
See,
so well.
Okay. I took a screenshot, and that one that I just read that says we have no real content. Above it says phenomenal, the most relatable content. I love you guys.
See?
So
that's who we care about.
But then there's one above it. Here is an example of what I would consider a helpful review. It's a 3-star review, and it says, please edit out the sniffles. I'm new to your podcast and was enjoying the content of the most recent episode, but couldn't keep listening to the sniffles. It was bad. You know what? Fair enough.
That is so fucking valid.
Now, I will say, that seems more of a YouTube comment or a Instagram message.
Yeah, maybe you didn't have to do a 1-star review.
Well, it was a 3-star.
Oh,
but
okay,
fair enough. Fair enough. But not every episode has sniffles.
Yeah, it was just the one.
Because sometimes we burp into the mic.
That's just for you, babies.
Fair
That's
enough.
just for my Patreon babies.
I feel like that's a fair enough thing.
No, that's
I
a
get
good
that.
review. I get it.
You're
too.
not labeling me
as a certain way. You're just hey, please stop sniffling into the mic, which is fair.
Yeah.
We should be more professional. And I'm sorry I burped so many times into this. I've had 2 of these.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, annoying.
Okay.
January 23rd, 2022. Help me, please. I need it.
That's recent.
Well, the other one was literally 2 weeks ago.
I know, but
this says, don't want to hear about picking your toenails.
Why not?
That's
you
a part
fucking prude.
of being relatable.
Did we talk about picking our toenails?
I've definitely chewed my toenails.
You did. My daughter can stick her feet in her mouth now, and it's she just fucking is all about her feet.
If you are saying you've never bitten a toenail off, you're a fucking liar.
I've never bitten a toenail.
You've never bitten a toenail
I'm not that
off.
flexible. You've seen it.
You are flexible.
I can't get my foot to my mouth.
Do this?
Are you high? Oh,
guess who's eating good tonight?
The game has changed.
That's what I'm saying.
I would say that that's a helpful review because a lot of people are I want to hear that shit, and thank you.
Okay. There was. What did you think?
Did you like it? That was a Patreon preview. So the people who are like, I'm listening and I got confused.
I know. That was my bad.
That was a Patreon preview.
That was my bad. So sometimes I just like throw it in there and think that everyone's going to know what it is and then they don't. So now I'm going to try and do that. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Hey, also, we're going to be reading some of our negative reviews. So if you like us, can you give us some good reviews?
Yeah.
To like balance those out. Not that we get a lot of bad ones. We truly haven't.
It was honestly difficult to find.
But they hurt. And so if you have anything nice to say,
it does help people who have similar interests to you find us.
Yeah. So if you think like you want the community to grow, which I think we all do,
connect with more people.
Yeah, rate, review, subscribe.
You know what to do.
And all that good stuff, please.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
That's that on Turning Red. We love you so much. Thank you for hanging out. We will see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.